bosses, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, it's so great to have you. Today we'll be talking about how to level up mentally. But before we get into it, I am going to ask you to do just 3 things for me. I want you to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss any of my content once I post them. I also want you to hit that share button so you can, help a king work, who could be looking for this information as well. And if you like my content, I hope you will hit that like button as well. But we're gonna get right into it with a few hacks or tips or tricks on how you can level up mentally. All right. Now the thing is, if you're still watching this video, awesome job, you've already made the first step. So the first thing we want to be doing when it comes on to leveling up mentally is to do some self-evaluation. We have to spend some quiet time with ourselves, take a look on how we're managing life, especially the tough situations in our life, how we're handling stress. Are we making good decisions? Are we making bad choices? Stuff like that. So when we take a look on that, it will kind of give us an idea of how we are and what state we are in mentally. That's the first step. All right. So if you're still watching this video, again, good job. You have made the first step in leveling up mentally. The second thing we want to do when it comes on to thinking about leveling up mentally is to be mindful of the inner conversations we're having with ourselves. Most times those inner conversations are negative. It's either one, we're telling ourselves, well, I made a big mistake, you should have known better, etc., etc. I feel like sometimes we're harder on ourselves than how a regular person would be on us. We're always harder on ourselves for some reason. It may be easier for you to forgive someone, but when it comes on to self-forgiveness, it's gonna take a bit more energy. So we have to be mindful of the mental conversations we're having with ourselves, right? Now, I live by this philosophy, be your biggest cheerleader. You don't need an entire fan club to succeed. All you need is yourself. Be your biggest cheerleader. Do not expect that other persons will be there to cheer you on every step of the way. We gotta understand, everybody wants to do good, but as soon as you start doing better than them, or as soon as someone else feels as if, they're being threatened, and, it's a possibility that you may do better than them, that's when the love stops, the encouragement stops, the cheering stops, and we have to be mindful of that. So learn to be your biggest cheerleader. All right, you don't need an entire fan club to succeed. Be your own cheerleader. Now, when we talk about being mindful of the inner conversations that we're having, a few things that can help us to change a negative mindset and change our negative thoughts is to always be conscious of them. So as soon as you realize that you're going in a downward spiral where you're continuously being hard on yourself, you're being negative, you're telling yourself you can't do it, think positive thoughts. If it's a case where you have to have a few affirmations in the morning, do it. I am beautiful, I am smart, I am resilient, and have at least 3 or 5 of them that you can repeat. So whenever you're feeling down and depressed and all the negative thoughts come rushing in, have those affirmations that you can continue to repeat. I find that is very relaxing, and it calms your mind and allows you to think a bit clearer. So remember, be mindful of the inner conversations that you're having. Now, my third tip is you have to ensure that you also control the environment that you're in. Once you try to change your mindset, you have to also be mindful of your physical surroundings. Do you have friends and families in your circle that are constantly enabling you, to do the same bad habits that you're trying to break out of? And let me give an example. So for example, you are a very complacent person. You spend a lot of time doing nothing. You wouldn't want to be hanging around friends that do nothing all day. For example, you have your friends or your homies and your girlfriends, you sit at home watching Netflix all day, or your homies, you sit at home playing FIFA all day. If you continue to hang around those persons, more than likely they're going to encourage you to do that same to do those same habits that you're trying to break out of. So you have to also be mindful of your physical surroundings as well, right? I'm not saying that you have to get rid of them completely, but you have to set boundaries. Know that if you indulge in something too long, you're eventually going to go back to your old ways. Think of it like you being a drug addict. You're in rehab, you've stayed away from the drugs for a bit, but one of your homies came up to you and said, hey, you want to sniff some coke? As soon as you sniff that coke, I'm sorry, but more than likely you're going to go back to the same state that you were in before. So be mindful of your physical surroundings. And since I touched base on physical surroundings, yes, out of all the cliques, out of all the friends, out of all the families, out of all the loved ones, there will be a select amount that you just have to get rid of. These are the people who are opportunists, the people who are constantly talking down on you. How can you have a friend that every time you bring up an idea that you have, a business proposal, your goals, your dreams, they laugh or like, oh, I don't think you can do that. Oh wow, that don't sound realistic. You don't want those type of persons in your life, and you have to be mindful of that as well. If you want to level up mentally, you want to surround yourself with persons who have the same mindset that you want. Persons who are positive thinkers, persons who are motivators, persons who have that drive and that push, that they can extend that energy to you. Maybe one day you are down, you're depressed, but boom, you have a friend, you hit that friend up and they're like, oh girl, try this, or hey, let's hang out, hey, let's go discuss a few things that we can do together. These are the type of persons that you want to be around. So if you realize that you are around persons who are opportunists, narcissists, those types of persons, eventually you're going to have to cut them out of your life. And nothing, absolutely nothing is worth your contentment and your peace of mind. So once someone is going to be threatening that, someone is going to be tearing down those walls and those levels that you have overcome already, you just got to get them out of your life. That's a part of a leveling up mentally. Another thing is that can help you when it comes on to your inner thoughts. Listen to motivational speakers and speeches like Les Brown, Miles Monroe. Those are my faves. Whenever you get up in the morning, your first 5 seconds, your first 5 minutes, it counts. So when you get up in the morning, don't go on social media, seeing all these negative, ratchet things that just puts you in a mindset of just being negative for the day. Listen to something that is motivational, something that hits home. I can tell you, when I listen to my Les Brown or my Miles Monroe in the morning, I feel unstoppable. I feel like a lion. I feel I can go out and I can conquer the entire world. Nothing or no one can stop me. And those are the types of affirmations you want. Persons who motivate you, things that motivate you, puts you in a positive mindset to win. So that can help you a whole lot when it comes out to leveling up mentally. Now the next thing is, when it comes on to leveling up mentally, reinvest time, energy, and effort in yourself. Get to know yourself. I feel like if we spend so much time doing things with other people and just being out there, externalizing and not internalizing stuff, we realize that we no longer know ourselves. So it's important that we put aside time to meditate, do some self-reflection, and get to know ourselves. Sometimes it's a way where we get to understand where we're at mentally. We start to realize that, hey, these are some things I want to achieve now. These are some things I want to do now. And you get to rediscover yourself. You also can get the opportunity to learn a new skill, discover your talents, things that will fulfill you, that will give you some form of fulfillment. So spend that time to rediscover yourself. Spend time with yourself. Reinvest time in yourself, energy in yourself when it comes down to self-development. So, those are some tips that I found worked a whole lot for me when it comes down to leveling up mentally. But I realized that I had to take the first step, and that was to do some self-reflection to see where I'm at mentally, and admit that, yeah, I'm not where I want to be, and it starts from my mental state, ensuring that I understand that I need to level up mentally, and I need to take steps in leveling up mentally. Your mental health is important, and in order for you to win, in order for you to grow, in order for you to evolve, you need to start working from there. And thank you so much for the watch, guys. I hope you found these tips beneficial. And remember, it takes 21 days to make a habit. So if you're going to be trying these things, I want you to stick it out for 21 days, form it into a habit, and then please come back to the comments and let me know if they were effective for you. Also, I'm here to learn as well. So if you have any tips on how I can mentally level up as well, feel free to drop them in the comments. All right, guys, so thank you again for the watch. Do not forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed as yet, and stay tuned. The next thing we'll be talking about is how to level up financially, because honey, the goal is to boss up. Yes, we're going to start mentally first, but those pockets, we need to fill them up as well. All right, so thanks again for the watch. Bye.